Now, Kiev's relations with its most important wartime ally have plummeted to a new low. Donald Trump cut short his meeting with Volodymyr Zelensky, said that the Ukrainian leader is not ready for peace with Russia. The clash, which was an extraordinary shouting match in the Oval Office, has thrown question marks over the chances for a truce. Zelensky was meant to make a full White House visit to sign a minerals deal with the US as part of post-war recovery in a US-brokered truce. Instead, an ugly clash blew up almost immediately in the Oval Office, where Trump and Vice President Vance shouted at Zelensky, accusing him of not being thankful for the United States' help in the 3-year war against the Russian invasion. Trump berated Zelensky, telling him that without US assistance, Ukraine would have been conquered by Russia. And according to a US official, the Ukrainian leader was told to leave.
And we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You haven't been alone.
In this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment.
And you
men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if you didn't have our military equipment, if you didn't have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days. This is something
maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Now, the extraordinary meltdown came after Trump said Ukraine will have to make compromises in a truce with Russia, adding that they hopefully won't be as big as some people think. But showing Trump pictures of war atrocities, Zelensky said there should be no compromises with the killer on their territory.
You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course.
Zelensky left his motorcade shortly after without holding a planned joint press conference. The White House has said the resources deal has been left unsigned. Plates and other items were seen being packed up outside the room where lunch was to be served to the leaders. Trump took to his Truth Social platform to say Zelensky had disrespected the United States of America in its cherished Oval Office. Trump further wrote that Zelensky is not ready for peace and can come back when he is ready. The meeting appeared to get off on a friendlier start, though initially Zelensky had said, I think President Trump is on our side, but it was soon followed by this dramatic public breakdown.
But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
Now, Trump has said Zelensky overplayed his hand during their clash, accusing his visitor of wanting to drag out the conflict with Russia. While departing the White House for his Florida estate, Trump said he wants a ceasefire now. The U.S. president accused Zelensky of looking for something that he's not. After that appalling spat, Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal has also reaffirmed that peace with Russia without any security guarantees is not possible. He said in a social media post that ceasefire without guarantees is the way to Russian occupation of the whole of the European continent. And following that verbal spat between US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, world leaders reacted to the war of words between the two. Democrats in the US Senate accused President Donald Trump and Vice President Vance of siding with Russian President Vladimir Putin. They also condemned Trump and Vance of doing Putin's dirty work. In a post on social media platform X, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham, on the other hand, called the tense meeting between US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky complete and utter disaster, while adding that he's proud of the US president. The senator also called for Zelensky to step down as president of Ukraine.
I think complete, utter disaster. I've been to Ukraine 8 or 9 times since the war started. We want to be helpful. What I saw in the Oval Office was disrespectful, and I don't know if we can ever do business with Zelensky again. He either needs to resign and send somebody over that we can do business with, or he needs to change.
Let's talk about the other reactions that have been pouring in for support for Ukraine as well. French President Emmanuel Macron backed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky following the latter's tense meeting at the White House. Macron called Russia an aggressor and Ukraine a victim.
I think we all know the situation. There's an aggressor, which is Russia, and a people attacked, which is Ukraine. I think we all were right to have helped Ukraine and sanctioned Russia 3 years ago, and to continue to do so. And when I say we, I mean the United States, Europeans, Canadians, Japanese and others.
Backing Macron's comments, Germany's Conservative Party leader Friedrich Merz assured his support to Ukraine in a post on social media platform X. Merz said that the aggressor and the victim must not be confused in this terrible war. Germany's foreign minister said that Europe and its allies are standing united alongside Ukraine in its war against Russia. In addition to this, Poland also voiced its support for Ukraine. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk took to his social media account X, saying that Ukraine is not alone. Following this, Spain and the Netherlands also stood in solidarity with Ukraine. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said that his country will stand with Ukraine and President Zelensky in a post on X. Meanwhile, Dutch Prime Minister Dick Schoof said that his country's support for Ukraine remains undiminished, while urging for a lasting peace and an end to the war of aggression started by Russia. The European Union also assured its unwavering support to Ukraine in a joint statement. The EU chief Ursula von der Leyen urged Ukraine to be strong and fearless. She also addressed President Zelensky, saying that he's not alone. Further, the EU has questioned Trump's leadership while adding that the world needs a new leader. Meanwhile, Canada's Foreign Minister Melanie Joly backed President Zelensky, saying that Ukrainians are fighting for their freedom and ours, and also called for deeper security and economic ties with Europe and parts of Asia amidst this ongoing geopolitical turmoil under US President Donald Trump. On the contrary, though, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán expressed his gratitude to the US President for standing bravely for peace. He said in a post on X that only strong men make peace and weak men make war. Similarly, Russia's foreign ministry said that US President Donald Trump has showed restraint by not hitting Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Russia's former president and deputy chief of the country's Security Council, that's Dmitry Medvedev, said that Zelensky received a proper slapdown in the Oval Office. And for more on this, we were earlier joined by Dr. John Blaxland from Washington, D.C. He's a professor for international and security intelligence studies at the Strategic and Defense Studies Center. Here's what he had to say.
No, it was certainly shocking, but I do think it was premeditated. The fact that the Vice President was there, this is highly unusual for a state visit when you have a president speaking to another foreign president. Having the Vice President accompanying you is highly unusual. And we know from previous pronouncements that the Vice President has been very disdainful of Ukraine and of the President, Volodymyr Zelensky. And it was very clear that he had quite a strong view about Zelensky's position, and President Trump turned to Vance to do some of the heavy lifting, if you like, in critiquing Zelensky. So my sense it was premeditated. Was it an ambush? It was maybe a bit strong to say that, but it was certainly a very difficult position that Zelensky was put in, and clearly with a view to getting that on the cameras, getting that to generate a global reaction, and it's certainly doing that.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.